Hi YouTube. So for my audience here as well, to clarify what has been done to me last year on Valentine's, that cuff torture where my wrist basically got tight, cuffed extra tight and my fingers got manipulated and such while walked off and during, basically this is the Istanbul Protocol where that is documented, basically what the causes are and the issues that arise from police torture. And definitely check out the Istanbul Protocol. Like if you've ever been arrested by the police and anything like that was done to you, where you were cuffed for a long period of time, extra tight, and maybe even had like some dirty cops like mess with your fingers and hand while they walked you off or during, then that basically is what they try to do to you knowingly, which I'd say in the court of law and in the court of human rights, you should be eligible for some six-figure reparations. I would definitely check that out. In my case, I'm basically dealing with 407 days of gross human rights violation in this country, not having my cannabis medicine, not having my reparations, and still having an open case where there should be no case to begin with because the psychopath mother basically defamed me for having a psychosis, which basically led to the events on Valentine's because these dirty cops probably thought that they could abuse or will deal with or are dealing with a schizophrenic person and basically rushed and ambushed me and literally tried to kill me, which usually nobody would say it doesn't make any sense, but a triple neck crank is attempted murder. And trying to suffocate somebody and then placing torture after you ripped out his shoulder and cranked and kimura'd and ripped his knee, definitely is the grossest human rights violations I could possibly think of. And the only reason how this could have happened is that obviously my crazy psychopath mother convinced them that I have a mental illness, and obviously that crazy psychopath is still out and about and is still working the court systems, saying that I'm severely ill, that I have brain damage and everything, where the reality is, that the police were not even allowed to search my house, because of I'm a cannabis patient. I presented my documents and everything, but that lady, was raging out there, I guess, and was angry that, I had to kick her out because, obviously she lost her mind and was annoying me and still thinks I'm sick and have been sick and that I'm untreated and everything like that. And still, writes beautiful letters with, scientific language and uses like medical terminology to label me as sick. So that's why I had this evaluation the other day, basically mandatory, because obviously there's this FAMG, Familiengericht, and German constitution says basically that the family and the kid is under special protection by the community here in Germany, basically. And that's kind of like the fascist Nazi backdoor that got us, because these dumbass institutions here in Germany decided to recklessly act on behalf of that crazy lady, which basically has caused all the dishonor, disgrace, demise, and destroyed the sanctity of our house here in Germany. Obviously, I almost got killed that night, got illegally incarcerated. And then in the meantime, while you're basically left unattended, neglected, your crazy psychopath mother is on those doctors who then basically generate a false report without ever seeing you. You are in corona isolation, so you can't even get out, and you're told to get back to your room. Meanwhile, fucking crazy person is influencing your family, and turning them against you, or maybe already before, to some extent, and telling them shit about you and them believing that you're sick. And then you get basically fucking illegally incarcerated a second time because your fucking wife is spazzing, yeah? And then after the fact, comes the social psychiatric service, the Jugendamt, and all these fucking idiots. And you have another fucking false report by some Dr. Eva Schuster who just shows up biased and like fucking sits here, doesn't take no voice memo, goes home to wherever that little fucking bitch is living and writes her fucking shitty ass article and some fucking report, yeah, regarding taking my custody away, which all basically on the act and everything that that psychopath fucking mother is doing, and that psychopath mother is still doing that. And then to top that all off, back in like September, Octoberish, like the family court ruled, yeah, because this government caused a medical emergency for a legitimate cannabis patient with no medical alternatives, basically losing all your projects and unable to finance your chronic pain meds, now with new injury, already with pre-existing conditions. Then this fucking family court, that Nazi fucking Bergmann whore and Ariane Wichmann, the fucking legal representative of your daughter, who basically, that Ariane Wichmann I have to mention specifically because that whore actually had the audacity to get herself access and question my daughter. And then that Ariane Wichmann, yeah, again, I'm sorry to use that language. Yeah, no offense to any women out there ever. It's just really personal. So that's why I'm using this language, yeah, and calling that Ariane Wixman like a dumbass whore. That lady then basically questioned your daughter illegally, getting some access. And also, again, mentions I have delusions, but doesn't specify anything, and basically scares the court lady. And then this Bergman whore, like there in fucking this dumbass fucking judge, says, yeah, now that I have this emergency situation, no funds to get fucking, medicine from the pharmacy, the weed, the herb, like I gotta now go to the park to help myself with these new injuries on top of the pre-existing conditions that already warranted the consumption of cannabis in my case, says that because I store this here, I'm a danger to my daughter, and the consumption in front of my daughter is an issue, but I'm a patient since 2017, so my daughter is already, educated about the subject, would not touch the cannabis, and has no interest in any such. And obviously, in my case, being a medicine, not a problem. And they completely disregard the fact, and then they kicked me out, and I literally slept the night in the park because of that, Nazi whore Bergmann. And I didn't get to see my daughter for 3 months, last year, basically, because of that stupid fucking family court where an American citizen got separated from his American daughter, where an American citizen got almost killed by the German police here on German soil for his chronic pain meds, where he called the cops to get rid of this fucking psychopath mother of his, whom he doesn't want anything to do with ever again anyway, already prior. But these institutions here, are so fucking retarded, and deprive you of your fucking liberty. And then you basically deprived of your basic rights and your human rights, and had your human rights severely injured. And state of the day, it's 407 days of severe gross human rights violation, where a chronic pain patient who only has cannabis as his medical alternative because they're allergic to everything else, has no medicine, severe pain, and new injury. And that's the case in Germany. This is why basically having all these videos out there, decided to put all these videos out there, because obviously as a parent who consumes cannabis, as a father, who has never slipped, never failed, who considers, calls his daughter ikigai, like that's the reason why I get up in the morning and do everything that I do. And then, a whole family is wrecked. The wife has to burden everything, work. You are left incapacitated with new injuries, severe pain, everything. And instead of anybody, having any compassion for the injuries and the fucking police brutality and attempted murder and all these things that have been done to you, you're being hunted as the psycho schizophrenic father. But turns out you never had any mental illness, and it's just defamed and by the fucking psychopath mother, and who's still raging in the background, writing letters in using medical terms and writing like as if she's like a medical professional as such, and trying to convince people to get me basically into a psych ward and get my custody stripped, sort of, yeah. But actually, illegally already since last year, my custody is kind of stripped, and I became like a dependent without ever, having had anything. So yeah, a gross human rights violation this is for cannabis in Germany. So there are really three demands left from my end. Being a German, former German now, growing up here, but American since birth as well, is they have to hand over my illegally seized medicine ASAP, pay reparations, damages, losses, pain, suffering, everything for three people, my daughter and I. Give me the confirmation that I'm no longer a German citizen, and then leaving this country, which obviously cannot be a healthy home anymore after all the things that have happened for now, 407 days today. So thank you everybody for watching. If you took the time to watch the video in its entirety, please like, comment, subscribe, because it helps me, algorithm, everything and everything else. And if you do want to support me financially, you can. It would help me a great deal, but not necessarily, everything is tough right now, I understand, with the economy. However, I have some affiliate links for some useful tools that I'm definitely using, that I'm not advertising, where I might be able, to get a few bucks here and there. And that would be absolutely it. Or some Amazon affiliate link to some products maybe that I can find. Have a wonderful weekend, week, whatever, whenever you're watching this video. Hope you have a blessed life. Hope your Germany is not treating you like this. And yeah, happy days. Like, comment, subscribe, yeah? Leave some comments, any questions, anything. Hit me up, DM me on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever. I'm everywhere. Peace out.